You ever feel that fire inside you, that restless voice that keeps whispering, you were meant for more? That's not ego, that's your soul screaming at you to wake up. Because deep down, you know you weren't built to live average, to blend in, or to watch others win while you sit on the sidelines. You know you've got something inside you that's been buried, ignored, or tamed for too long. But the truth is, the world doesn't hand out victories. You gotta take them. You've got to look in the mirror and decide that from this moment forward, there are no more excuses, no more waiting, no more hoping for things to happen. You make them happen. Because the people who win in life aren't the ones with the most talent. They're the ones who never stop fighting for what they want, no matter how hard it gets. You've got to understand there's a difference between wanting success and being obsessed with it. Everyone says they want to win, but only a few are willing to pay the price. Most people break the moment it gets hard. They quit when it stops being exciting. They fold when it's inconvenient. But the real ones, the ones who rise, they embrace the grind. They crave the pressure. They thrive in discomfort. They don't need motivation. They move because their vision demands it. They wake up early, stay up late, sacrifice comfort, ignore distractions, and lock in when everyone else is taking it easy. That's what separates those who dream from those who dominate. You've got to be willing to do what others won't. You got to push when you got nothing left. You've got to keep moving forward even when everything in you says stop. Because every second you waste doubting yourself, someone else is out there building the life you want. Every day you spend making excuses, someone else is getting stronger, sharper, hungrier. And if you keep letting fear, laziness, or comfort control you, you'll wake up one day realizing you traded your potential for mediocrity. Don't let that be your story. Don't let that be your ending. This is the moment you draw the line. The moment you decide that enough is enough. The moment you stop waiting for motivation and start creating movement. You're not here to be average. You're not here to settle. You're here to become unstoppable, to wake up every single day with purpose, power, and precision. So stop talking about what you're going to do and start doing it. Stop playing small. Stop letting fear dictate your future. It's time to rise, to fight, to grind, and to take what's yours. Because this life, this moment will not wait for you. And the question is, are you finally ready to become the one who takes it all? Winners don't wait for permission. They take responsibility for the outcome. That mindset alone separates the elite from the average. Most people live their entire lives waiting for the right time, waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to notice them, waiting for a sign that says already. But that's not how winners operate. Winners don't ask, they act. They don't wait for a green light. They become the green light. They understand that life doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards execution. Every second you spend waiting for approval is another second someone else is outworking you, outthinking you, and outmoving you. The truth is, no one's coming to save you. No one's going to walk up and say, now is your time. You have to decide that for yourself. Taking responsibility is about owning everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. When things go right, a winner doesn't get lost in the applause. When things go wrong, they don't point fingers or play the victim. They look in the mirror and ask, what can I do better? That mindset builds power. Because when you blame others, you hand them control. But when you take responsibility, you take the power back. Winners don't allow their emotions or their circumstances to dictate their next move. They dictate it themselves. That's what separates those who dream from those who dominate. You see, the average person waits for permission because it's easier to blame others than to hold yourself accountable. It's easier to say, I couldn't because of them, than to admit, I didn't because I didn't try hard enough. Responsibility is heavy, and most people are too weak to carry it. But winners, they lift that weight every single day. They embrace the pressure because they know pressure creates diamonds. They know ownership is freedom. When you take full control of your life, no one can manipulate your destiny. When you take responsibility, your mindset shifts from I hope things change to I will make them change. You stop looking for opportunities. You start creating them. You stop waiting for motivation. You build discipline. You stop waiting for the right time. You realize the right time is now. Because every day you delay, your dream gets further away. Every time you hesitate, someone else gets closer to the top. Winners don't wait because they know time doesn't wait for them. If you study the greats, the consistent pattern isn't luck. It's accountability. They didn't need someone to push them. They pushed themselves. They didn't need external validation. They had internal fire. They didn't make excuses about where they came from. They used it as fuel to get where they were going. Winners look at their circumstances and say, this may not be my fault, but it is my responsibility to fix it. That's what makes them dangerous. They don't waste time crying about what they can't control. They lock in on what they can. And taking responsibility doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means you refuse to give up. It means when life hits you, you don't fold, you don't hide, you don't whine. You take the hit, you adjust, and you move forward. Winners understand that setbacks are part of the process. They don't get paralyzed by failure, they learn from it. Because responsibility is not just about control, it's about growth. Every failure is a mirror showing you what needs work. Every loss is an opportunity to sharpen your game, but that only happens if you own it. The weak run from accountability because they fear pain. The strong run toward it because they crave evolution. When you stop waiting for permission, something powerful happens. Your mindset becomes unstoppable. You stop needing recognition. You stop needing motivation. You stop needing validation. You stop being controlled by fear. You move with intention. You walk into every room like you belong there because you've earned it. And if you haven't earned it yet, you're ready to grind until you do. That's the energy of a winner. They don't need someone to believe in them first. They believe in themselves so fiercely that the world has no choice but to follow. Most people never start because they think they need everything to be perfect first. The perfect plan, the perfect timing, the perfect opportunity. But perfection is a trap. Winners know progress beats perfection every single time. They start messy, they start scared, they start broke. But they start. And once they start, they never stop. That's why they win. The people who lose are the ones who never begin. They let fear disguise itself as preparation. They call it waiting, but really they're wasting. Taking responsibility also means holding yourself accountable to a higher standard than anyone else does. You don't do it because someone's watching. You do it because you're building a version of yourself that no one can take down. You wake up earlier, not because someone told you to, but because you made a promise to yourself that you won't live below your potential. You grind harder, not because you're competing with others, but because you're competing with the old you. Winners don't need applause. They don't need sympathy. They need results. There's a reason people say success is lonely, because not everyone is built to carry that level of ownership. Winners don't get distracted by opinions. They don't chase attention. They chase growth. When everyone else is talking, they're working. When everyone else is doubting, they're deciding. When everyone else is waiting, they're moving. That's why they win. Responsibility forces you to evolve, and evolution separates you from the pack. Ask yourself, how long will you keep waiting for permission? How long will you keep blaming your environment, your past, or your circumstances? How long will you keep saying someday instead of saying today? The truth is, no one's stopping you. You're stopping yourself. The world doesn't owe you anything, but it will respect you when you earn everything. Winners don't complain about how hard life is. They get harder. They don't wish for an easier path. They become stronger travelers. Once you decide to take full responsibility, life changes. You start seeing problems differently. You stop saying, "Oh, why me?" and start saying, "Oh, try me." You stop reacting like a victim and start responding like a victor. You realize that life isn't supposed to be fair. It's supposed to be conquered. And that conquest begins the moment you say, "I'm done waiting." That moment is when the shift happens. When you take full ownership, you stop depending on circumstances and start depending on yourself. You become the source of your own strength. So if you truly want to be the winner who takes it all, stop asking for permission to start. Stop seeking approval to rise. Stop needing someone to validate your journey. No one can believe in your dream harder than you. No one can want your success more than you. It's not about who supports you. It's about who refuses to quit on themselves when no one's watching. The minute you take full responsibility for everything in your life, you step into power. And once you taste that power, the power of knowing you're in control, you'll never wait again. Because winners don't wait, they work. They don't wish, they act, they don't hope, they create. and that's exactly why they win. Every winner you've ever admired once stood exactly where you are, uncertain, untested, and surrounded by people who didn't believe they could make it. The difference between them and everyone else isn't talent, luck, or timing. It's their decision to refuse to lose. That's what separates the winners from the rest. Not the opportunity they had, but the hunger they carry. The second key to becoming the winner who takes it all is mastering the art of turning pain into power. Turning every failure into a lesson and turning every setback into fuel. Winners don't avoid pain, they embrace it. They don't run from rejection, they learn from it. They don't crumble under pressure, they rise because of it. That's what makes them unstoppable. You see, most people quit the moment life hits them hard. Thinking pain is a signal to stop. But the truth is, pain is proof that you're still in the fight. Pain is the alarm that tells you something great is being built inside you. Winners understand that discomfort is the birthplace of greatness. When everyone else runs from the grind, the winner leans in. They understand that their growth doesn't happen when it's easy. It happens when everything inside them screams to give up. But they keep going anyway. That's what separates the ones who take it all from those who take nothing. It's not the easy days that build you. It's the days when you're broken, tired, and feel like there's nothing left. But you still move. You still show up. You still fight. Let's be real. Success isn't about what you want. It's about what you're willing to endure. Everybody wants to be successful, but not everybody wants to go through what success demands. The winner doesn't get discouraged when things get hard. They don't complain about the process. They respect it because they know every failure, every rejection, every long night of doubt is shaping them into someone powerful. The loser sees pain and says, "Oh, why me?" The winner says, "Hey, try me." That's the mindset that makes you unstoppable. You have to stop running from what hurts and start running toward it. Every time you conquer pain, you take back power from the world. Every time you push through when you don't feel like it, you grow stronger than the version of you that wanted to quit. That's the mindset of someone who takes it all. There's a moment in every person's life where they have to decide. Will you be the one who watches others win, or will you be the one who earns the victory? Because life doesn't hand out trophies for effort. It rewards execution. It rewards discipline. It rewards the one who refuses to let circumstances control them. You can't just wish for success. You have to work for it while you're bleeding, crying, and still standing tall. Winners understand this. They know that no one is coming to save them. No one is going to feel sorry for them. They carry the weight, they take the punches, but they never drop the vision. Every time life tries to knock them down, they stand taller. Every time they lose, they study the loss, learn, and come back sharper. That's how winners think. They turn failure into focus and pain into purpose, and pain into purpose. Understand this. The world owes you nothing. Nobody is coming to hand you the life you dream about. That's why you have to be relentless. You have to build a mindset that doesn't depend on motivation, but on mission. Winners don't need to feel like it. They do it because they said they would. They keep their promises to themselves even when no one is watching. They keep moving forward even when there's no applause, for no validation, no recognition. Because they know success doesn't come from being seen. It comes from being consistent. The process is lonely. It's brutal. But it's worth it. Because at the end of the road, the world will see what you build in the dark. The pain will fade, but the pride will stay. You have to understand that your pain, your struggles, your failures, they're not roadblocks. They're training grounds. Every obstacle you face is building the version of you that's capable of carrying the success you're praying for. Most people want the success, but not the preparation. They want the reward, but not the responsibility. Winners are different. They understand that they have to become the kind of person who can handle what they desire. So when life gets tough, they don't ask for it to get easier. They ask to get stronger. They push through fear. They push through exhaustion. They push through doubt. Because they know that every test is shaping their character, every delay is building their patience, and every failure is sharpening their vision. You're going to face moments when everything feels unfair, when you've given your all and it still feels like it's not enough. In those moments, you have two choices: break down or break through. Winners choose breakthrough. They use frustration as fuel. They take rejection as redirection. They don't let the pain make them bitter. They let it make them better. That's the difference between the ones who make it and the ones who quit. Winners aren't born strong. They become strong by surviving the fire that would destroy most people. They keep pushing not because it's easy, but because they understand that greatness demands sin, that greatness demands sacrifice. At the end of the day, life will always test you. It will push you to your limits. But those limits are just illusions. You're stronger than you think, tougher than you realize, and more capable than you give yourself credit for. You've just got to keep fighting when your mind tells you to stop. Keep believing when the world doubts you. Keep showing up when nobody's watching. Because that's how you build the kind of mindset that wins. Not sometimes, but every time. The kind that takes it all. The kind that never settles. The kind that refuses to lose. So when you feel pain, don't back down. Step up. When you face failure, don't give up. Grow up. When life knocks you flat, get up and remind the world who you are. You're not here to participate. You're here to dominate. You're not here to blend in. You're here to take it all. The third key to becoming the winner who takes it all is mastering the voice inside your own head. Because the biggest battle you'll ever fight won't be against the world, it'll be against yourself. The truth is, most people never lose to competition. They lose to hesitation, fear, doubt, and that whisper in their mind that says they're not enough. The ones who win are not the ones who had everything figured out. They're the ones who learned how to silence the noise in their own mind and turn their inner chaos into clarity. The moment you control your thoughts, you control your destiny. That's what the greats understood. The real war is mental. You can't win in life until you first win in your mind. Every single day, your mind gives you two choices: to rise or to remain. It tells you to stay comfortable, to avoid the pain, to wait until the timing feels right. But that voice is a liar. It's the same voice that stopped you from starting, that convinces you to quit, that tells you your dreams are too big and your chances too small. Winners recognize that voice, and they fight it every day. They talk back. They command it. They discipline it. They don't let fear sit in the driver's seat. They take control because they understand something most people never will. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you think like a victim, you'll live like one. If you think like a champion, you'll rise like one. The mind is the gatekeeper of your future, and only those who master it get to walk through. When you wake up in the morning, the first war begins. It's the battle between who you are and who you're supposed to be. It's not about your circumstances. It's about your focus. Because life will always give you reasons to stop, to slow down, to feel sorry for yourself. But the ones who win, they never negotiate with weakness. They never give in to that voice that says, not today. They know they want to stand on top. They have to be ruthless with their own excuses. Winners don't wait for motivation. They create momentum. They know discipline isn't something you feel. It's something you do. And they refuse to let emotions make decisions that discipline should control. That's how you master yourself, by building a mindset that doesn't fold under pressure, that doesn't get distracted by noise, and that doesn't get seduced by comfort. You have to understand, the mind is powerful, but it's also dangerous. It can either build your empire or bury your potential. Most people live their whole lives trapped inside the prison of their own thinking. They talk themselves out of opportunity, out of risks, out of progress. They believe the lies they repeat to themselves every single day. Not ready. I'm not good enough. And those lies become their reality. But winners, they see it differently. They reprogram that voice. They replace doubt with dominance, fear with faith, hesitation with hunger. When their mind says, you can't, they answer, oh, watch me. When it says, you're not ready, they reply, I'll never be ready, but I'll still go. They refuse to let fear be the author of their story because they know your future belongs to the thoughts you entertain the most. Think about it. How many dreams have died? Not because they weren't possible, but because someone doubted themselves for too long. The mind will play tricks on you. It will convince you that your past defines you, that your failures disqualify you, that your time has run out. But the mind doesn't decide your future. You do. And you decide it every single time you choose faith over fear, action over anxiety, and purpose over panic. That's the mental game winners play every day. They've mastered the art of controlling their emotions before their emotions control them. They've learned to focus on the mission, not the mood top. And that's why they succeed where others fall. Because while everyone else is feeling, they're executing. While everyone else is talking, they're doing. While everyone else is waiting for motivation, they're creating momentum. You see, the world will test you, but the real test happens in silence. When no one's watching, when it's just you and your thoughts. That's where winners are made. That's where battles are won. It's not about showing strength when everyone's cheering for you. It's about staying strong when no one believes in you. It's about waking up when your mind tells you to rest, working when your body tells you to quit, and believing when everything around you screams impossible. Winners have trained their minds to stay calm in chaos, focused in distraction, and unshakable in doubt. They don't let their emotions dictate their discipline. They build mental toughness so unbreakable that even failure can't destroy their focus. Your mindset is your weapon, and every day you either sharpen it or dull it. Every negative thought you allow to live in your head makes you weaker. Every excuse you repeat to yourself builds a wall between you and your potential. But every time you reject fear, that time you push past comfort, every time you keep going when it doesn't make sense, your mind gets sharper, stronger, more dangerous. That's how winners are built. Not through talent, but through training. You have to train your mind like an athlete trains their body. You can't expect strength without struggle. You can't expect focus without discipline. The mind becomes what you feed it. And if you feed it fear, you'll live in fear. But if you feed it faith, fire, and focus, you'll become unstoppable. Understand this. The mind doesn't care what's real. It believes what you tell it most often. That's why self-talk matters. That's why your inner dialogue determines your destiny. Winners speak life into their future. They speak power into their pain. They speak victory into their valleys. Because they know words are energy, builds reality. When they wake up, they don't complain. They command. They don't say, I have to. They say, I get to. They say, I get to. They don't say it's too hard. They say it's shaping me. They've trained their mind to find purpose in the process and strength in the struggle. That's what keeps them pushing when everyone else has already given up. So if you want to be the winner who takes it all, you've got to win the war within. You've got to learn to master the noise inside your own head before you conquer the noise of the world. The biggest enemy you'll ever face isn't the person standing in front of you. It's the person standing inside of you. Once you silence that voice of fear, once you replace doubt with determination, once you take control of your thoughts, there's nothing left that can stop you. Because a master mind is a limitless weapon. A disciplined mind doesn't break, it doesn't bend, it doesn't crumble under pressure. It rises, it commands, it conquers. And when you reach that level, when you control yourself at your deepest level, that's when you become the winner who takes it all. When it's all said and done, winning isn't about luck, it's about ownership. Full, raw, relentless ownership of your life. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to push you. Nobody's coming to remind you to grind. You've got to decide right now that your life is your responsibility. Every choice, every action, every moment of hesitation either builds your future or destroys it. The winner who takes it all isn't born with a crown. They earn it inch by inch, sacrifice by sacrifice, decision by decision. They understand that every single day the world gives them two options, excuses or execution. And the ones who take it all are the ones who choose execution every single time. You've got to get to a point where you stop waiting for the right time, the right mood, or the right energy, because the truth is, those things will never come. Winners create their own rhythm, their own fire, their own timing. They don't wait for motivation. They move with purpose. They don't talk about what they're going to do. They do it. They live in a different mindset. They see every failure as feedback. Every obstacle as an opportunity, every delay as discipline. They don't ask for it to be easier. They demand that they become stronger. That's what separates the ones who talk from the ones who take. The real winners know that the grind doesn't care about feelings. It only respects results. So when you wake up tomorrow, I want you to stop playing small. Stop thinking that winning is for someone else. Stop telling yourself that success is only for the chosen few. You are the chosen few if you decide to be. The only thing separating you from the life you want is the discipline you're avoiding, the risk you're scared to take, and the consistency you refuse to build. You've got to rise above that noise. You've got to tell yourself, I was not built to settle. You've got to train your mind to stay hungry when others get comfortable, to stay focused when others lose direction, and to keep pushing when everyone else stops. That's the mentality that wins every time, because the world always belongs to the one who refuses to quit. Winning isn't a moment. It's not the trophy. It's not the applause. Winning is who you become in the process. The discipline, the mindset, the fire that doesn't go out when things get dark. It's the quiet victories no one sees, the sacrifices no one claps for, the hours you put in when no one's watching. That's where greatness lives. And if you stay loyal to the grind, if you stay faithful to the process, one day you'll look around and realize you took it all, not because you were lucky, not because you were special, but because you refused to stop. So stand up, lock in, and tell yourself, this is my time, my fight, my win, and I'm taking it all.